So tonight, I'm excited to talk to Glenn about how Sony digital imaging has disrupted the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Glenn Gainor.
Mike, how are you?
How you doing, Glenn? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
You have a little appendage there. What's
you know what? I don't go anywhere without this anymore.
I like that.
It's really become an appendage. It's my best friend.
There you go. There you go. Did you see Stella? Wasn't she gorgeous?
Beautiful. Beautiful. You know what? I'm going to have to see if I can share the same memory for you.
I'm sure you will.
Yes.
So you're an avid personal photographer, and I've been following you on Facebook over the holidays.
Yeah.
Beautiful, lovely family, great photos. But you're also a professional in the industry of filmmaking. But I want to start on the personal side.
Yeah.
With advancement of digital imaging, I mean, you must have seen quite advancement in just the past few years. What has that meant for you in your personal photography?
Oh, it's been tremendous. The amount of stories I've been able to tell with my family is unparalleled. We have taken photographs in areas that were not achievable before. You know, it used to be you had to have a flash and you had to have all this light, and you just don't anymore if you have the A7. There's no doubt about it. It's changed my life.
It's changed your life.
It really has.
Do we have any photos we could take a peek at?
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, let me show you. In fact, you know, these moments start with your heart and start at the home. And this photograph behind us actually is a picture from my bedroom. And if you look on top, you'll notice that the light is not on.
That's amazing.
It's actually lit by a 5-cent candle. That's all that lit that. And I was just kind of amazed by that, you know. And yet there's detail everywhere. So I'll show you a few more here. This is a photograph. Two of these girls are actually my daughters.
Beautiful.
Jillian and Grayson. Jillian's wearing the blue there. Grayson's doing this. And it's shot on a hillside. There was absolutely no light in front of them. All the light was from the city behind them. I couldn't see them, and yet the camera did. The sensor saw them. That's why I'm very impressed with that. This next shot just shows the beauty you get out of the camera, the detail, the depth, and so forth and so on. It's a portrait, you know. It really can magnify a moment, I think. And I'll show you just a few more. I had to show you my dog since I saw you yours. But look at the eyes. I've actually blown that up, and I can see myself in her eyes. There's detail where you want it, you know, and yet you can tell that story of beauty in any way. This next photograph, I just took this picture in fact, a few days ago as the New Year's is winding down. I live in a little town in California called Hollywood. And that's the Capitol Records building. What I love about that shot, there's detail in the Christmas lights, and yet, if you look a little bit over, there is a sign called the Broadway. It's not lit, yet you can see it. Amazing. Now that dynamic range is amazing on this 35mm full-frame CMOS camera. And I think we have just one or two more. This shot I love just because there's detail again. There's dynamic range, and there's detail where there's no light, and there's detail where there's extreme light. You know, in the fireworks. And let's see what else. Of course, being a fan of Lawrence of Arabia, I saw this shot, and the obligatory sunset shot you have to take. But look at it. I mean, it's just amazing, and it just captured the birds right in motion. It's like a portrait.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So this is all just in the personal life. I was in Mumbai visiting one of our producing partners, and Mumbai, of course, is filled with color. And this was night, and you know, I just let the aperture be open just maybe about 30th of a second, just to get you a little bit of movement. But all these shots were just quick moments of grabbing it. And then following this shot up, this is Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, that's my wife. It gives you sort of a documentarian feel, almost a National Geographic feel. And again, these were just moments of capturing life. And I think we have this shot, which I'm very proud of. You would think as a Hollywood producer that I got special effects people and smoke machines. But no, this was actually in the Dhobi Ghat, which is a laundry facility in Mumbai, India. And this little girl was just playing in the background. And I just was lucky enough to capture that moment with this camera.
Remarkable. Just phenomenal.
Yeah.
What a beautiful family. And, you know, Kaz always talks about Kando, and Kando being the spirit, right? What would you say? It comes from the heart. And look at those photos. I mean, there's a definition or an explanation of Kando. That's just remarkable. So let me shift gears a little bit to the professional side. And I know at Screen Gems, you use the A7S to shoot scenes. How's that experience? Can you tell us a little bit about that on the professional side?
Absolutely. You know, every camera helps you tell a different kind of story. We have our portrait cameras that we've been using in the Sony family, but not every opportunity is right for every camera. This camera allows you to get into very specific, tight quarters. It allows you to get into areas that may have been off limits before. And it's very versatile. And by the way, it's 4K. It's internal 4K, and it can also be external 4K with, in this case, the Shogun monitor. That's 422 4K. And so it works beautifully with my entire ecosystem of my motion pictures.
That's just remarkable. All right, I've got to ask the question that is on everyone's mind.
Yeah.
With all of the tools available to a filmmaker, to your profession, to your colleagues, including DSLRs, why the Sony Alpha?
Well, in my opinion, I think it's just the greatest camera in the world. It achieves everything I want to achieve as a storyteller. Not only can I get into places where I couldn't get in before, but I can get into those places knowing that whatever nature gives me, whatever the environment gives me, I'm going to be able to capture it. And I'll be able to capture it with clarity and with detail and with dynamic range. And I know that it'll match other 4K cameras seamlessly. And that's been my personal experience making these movies. I think we have a clip. I can show you some of the work in action. This is actually from an upcoming movie that we shot at Shepperton Studios in London. And the camera was this camera. It's just like this, looking up, or looking down rather, on the prisoner. We couldn't get that in any other way, and it works just really beautifully and cuts in seamlessly. I've seen it on a 40-foot wide screen and just absolutely love it. And I think we have a few more clips. This one was the London Underground. Now, I couldn't get any of my equipment in there, but I could get this in there. And that helped my director tell the story he wanted to tell. Here's another example of the camera being in a low position. You know, when Orson Welles was doing Citizen Kane, he was at RKO Studios, and he got into a little bit of trouble because he had to dig a hole in the floor to get his camera down there. You don't have to do that anymore. You just put the camera right down here and tell your story. That's what this camera allows you to do. It is changing the language of cinema by allowing us to get shots like this. And that's exciting.
That is more than exciting. It's remarkable. It's beyond creative. Wonderful, wonderful work.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming tonight and sharing your stories. And
oh, it's my pleasure. Happy New Year to you.
It's a pleasure seeing you guys.
Absolutely. Hey, let's get a selfie.
Quick selfie?
Let's do a selfie.
All right. Audience behind or audience in front?
Let's get the audience. This is a great
right.
audience. Here we go. Perfect. I got two.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right,
Thanks again.
ladies and gentlemen, Glenn Gainor.
Thank you.